Hi, thank you for joining me today. I am so sorry, but I was really sick the last weekend. So here we are, and here we get going. Let's get our trade up so we can see what's going on. It is really interesting. At least I think it is. It's NZDUSD, New Zealand dollar, United States dollar. And this is a buy that went in on a lot size of 0.01. And it went in at 0.69586. And my stop loss, it went in as 0.63586. And my take profit was in at 0.68. I'm sorry, take profit is 0.75586. I was reading the actual price where it was currently, which is 0.68504. As you can see, we're at negative $10.82. And the last time we spoke, I do believe, go to my trading journal and see what we were doing. We were actually at a negative $16.60. So as you can see, it's definitely turned around. And it is going to get better as we continue on with this trade. This is exciting. If you take a look at my balance, when I first started this trade, I was at $280 in my balance. And over time, with a little bit of me adding to my balance on another account, as well as trades that I actually succeeded in, I'm over $1,000 in my balance, meaning that my margin level is at 5,025.82%. I can stay in this trade for a long time. And having my stop loss sitting at, go down to the 4-hour time chart, $60 or 6,000 pips, I still have $1,000. It looks like a win-win-win to me. So I can sit in here for as long as necessary until it goes into profit. And my take profit is also at 6,000 pips or $60 profit. My stop loss being at 6,000 pips and $60, that is the most I can lose out of this trade. Once it hits that, I will no longer be sitting in it, and I can handle losing $60. It's not that big of a deal in my way of thinking, but I can also handle gaining $60. So it's not anything to be upset about. Part of trading, when you trade, you need three things all the time: patience, consistency, and no emotion. You cannot have any emotion on a trade if you win or lose, because it's not a loss, it's a lesson. Because if you chart it in your trade journal, like I do, you will be able to go back and see what mistakes you may have made and learn from them, so the next time you don't have to worry about it. Now I'm in the daytime chart, because sitting in the daytime chart, I have what is called a naked chart, and I can see things that take place in the daytime chart. Being in the 4-hour time chart, I can see some. But let me show you something. With a naked chart, no charting it up, no marking it up, no getting the indicators or the trend lines or any of that. Go into the minute time chart. What can you see here? If you don't have the experience and you don't have your chart marked up and you haven't been working on a demo, don't get into this trade. unless you've been watching it for a good long time. Now, going into the 5-minute time chart, I can see a little bit, but I still cannot tell you what you need to do. No charts marked up, no indicators, no experience. Don't get in this trade at this time chart because it's a good possibility of losing. The 15-minute time chart, you've got maybe an idea of back to November 27th of this year. Not that long ago, not even a month. I want to advise going into this trade if you have not marked up your charts. It's just not a good practice, and your risk is extremely high. Going into the 30-minute time chart, yeah, you can see a little bit, but there's still not a clear picture here. You do not know the trend that this trade's been doing. You don't know what it's been, how it, the last months, if not years, has been working. So where would you put your things? On a naked chart, you don't want to trade in 30 minutes or less on a naked chart unless you've marked up your charts and unless you've had experience. I'm talking years of trading experience, because it takes people a certain amount of time for the learning curve. To once you learn the skills of trading, you need to practice those skills until you have it. And there are certain rules and regulations that you set that you won't enter a trade unless you've had all of those on that trade. And if you haven't, I wouldn't advise it. Going into the hour time chart, you can see more. Yeah, absolutely. You can see back to September of this year. 3 months ago? Is that enough time? Not in my book, it's not. And I wouldn't advise it. Yeah, you can trade here, and if you've got the experience and you're doing swipe trades or anything to that effect, go for it. Enjoy yourself. Don't say it was my decision or my idea. 4-hour time chart, like I stated, not too long ago, I think it's been about 4 months now, when I was actually trading in the 4-hour time chart without a problem, until I realized it didn't even give me a year time chart. So I can't tell you the trend of this chart. It's just not a good idea unless you have the experience, unless you know what the indicators are, unless you can tell me what the support or demand, resistance, all of that. I wouldn't advise you to do this unless you're following swipe trades. And if you're following swipe trades, you're already in iMarkets Live and learning the education behind it. So that's why I trade in the daytime chart. How I find out what my trade's going to be or where it's going to go is I put my cursor on where it's sitting currently. And when you trade right, but you look left. And I run my cursor back to when it has basically the same pattern, which is right about here. And it's at 69638, and the low is 68396, and the price is currently at 68510. So we're pretty much in the right area. And if you take a look at this, the trend that this trade has done, you can literally see that it is going to go up a little bit, but then it's going to come down for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of days, but then it's going to shoot up and go into our profit. And this is over 4 years of information. So I would say it's pretty accurate to know what's going to happen next. Trades always repeat themselves. The trend will always repeat itself. Once you have that, there's not much more you need to be concerned about. And when you can trade in a daytime chart, you can put your trade in, let it run, let it do its thing. And you don't have to sit on top of it all day. You can do what you want to do, because that trade's not going to go anywhere past my stop loss, or may even take profit. I'm not going to be hurting at all. So once you have it, you've got it. Now I'm going to stop my screen share because I have a feeling that there's some questions. Right? Where do I get my signals? Well, I've already covered some of them just by showing you how to trade. And those signals come from 5 different areas. Stevenson Lindor and Orrin Wright, who are educators through iMarkets Live. They teach anywhere from beginner to know nothing, all the way to intermediate, all the way to advanced. And they've got the education. They've got the talent, they've got the skills, and you can trust them. Third area is Christopher Terry, who happens to be the CEO of iMarkets Live. And having that, plus he has over 25 years of trading experience. So I would advise you to put your trust and faith into him, because he knows what he's doing. Fourth area would be Tracy Walker, who happens to be my sponsor through iMarkets Live. And she does summits as well as webinars to show people how to become a very newbie, beginner, never seen it before, how to mark up your charts, how to find your entry points, your entry price, how to find your stop loss and your take profit, how to get in and get out of a trade. This will take you all the way there. You just need to take a moment and see if you can locate her through either iMarkets Live or even Facebook. And Swipe Trades, which is an app that goes on your smartphone, and you get signals, ideas of trades that you get to choose what you want to do. You get to make that decision. So you need the education. You need the practice on a demo, at least a 90-day demo, before you do a live account, because we would really hate you to lose everything. And if you don't have the skills and you don't have what's needed, chances of success are minimal. So please, please make sure that you have the education. Make sure that you've had the practice, and make sure that you can depend on the person giving you the information. Yeah, there's a lot of information in this. And thank you again for joining me. So, going once, going twice, and gone. And you have a great remainder of your night or day, depending on where you are in the world. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.